What's up, YouTube? Yo, yo, yo. It's welcome to Yo Retro. I'm your host, Chaotic BPR. With me, as always, though, is my co-host, Six Half a Dozen. What's going on, my good buddy?
Hey, what up, though? What up, y'all? Welcome back to Yo Retro. What's going on, homie?
Yeah. Good, man. Good. It's good to see you.
Good to see you.
We weren't here last week. Some couple of things, going on. Not going on in the AtGames world and home arcade world, but
the scene was dead.
I did pick up a Dragon's Lair.
Oh, okay.
He didn't know about that. There you go.
He put one of the Trinity in that joint. When you getting Tron,
man, that's gonna be impossible to get, man. Not without spending some coin.
You're showing that off. I'm showing off my Defender Party K,
exactly.
Today.
There you go.
Because my pinball machine, the start button broke. AtGames put these terrible start buttons in here, so my micro switch on that start button went, and I had no resources other than the community to figure out where to find a replacement. Yeah. So I've been going through different resources within the community to try to find a replacement. I could have reached out to AtGames, I guess, because it's in warranty and went through that whole process, but I'd rather just have something, sent to my house that quick. I don't feel like waiting. Yeah. This new pack just came out. I was able to give each table a good run before that start button went.
Yeah, and see, I'm anticipating my start button to go out too. So I had reached out to the community on Reddit, and somebody recommended these guys. But if you see this guy, it's too big. So, but he swore up and down this is the one you're supposed to get. Maybe on the HD it'll fit, because maybe the buttons are spaced out a little bit more. But if you try to put this in the 4KP, it's overlapping the other buttons. So that ain't gonna work, man.
Yeah.
So we'll just I'll go your route probably and end up getting those little micro switches just until that button goes.
This is the second set I ordered, so I hope the second set works. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, the other ones I sent you were the right voltage and right everything else, just wasn't the right fit.
Yeah, they're just a little too big to sit in that. There's a little plastic piece that micro switch sits inside, and then it's got a little like plastic arm that holds it in place, and yeah, it just wasn't the right fit. It's not that much. It was almost, I could almost wedge it in there, but I didn't want to break it, so I said, let me just reach back out to the community and try to narrow down what I really need, and I was able to zoom in, take a picture, of the thing, and get all the serial numbers, everything up there.
Yeah, for sure. Well, hopefully that new micro switch will come for you very soon so you can start playing again.
Mm-hmm.
But guys, everybody, welcome to episode 36 of Yo Retro. Basically, it's going to be the South Park pinball pack that we're going to review, give us our thoughts and opinions on it, as well as hear everybody in the chat's thoughts and opinions on it as well. We also are going to take a little trip down memory lane on some Arcade 1-Up prototypes.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about some new era and some Electronic Gaming Monthly, and how can you use your PS5 to warm your pizza?
Yeah, that's crazy. We got to talk about it.
Exactly. So let's go ahead and say what's up to everybody that's in the chat. Everybody that's made it into the chat. We got Carl O, Penny K, Pete G, Jason Little Alien, the best moderator in the home arcade community, period. Wingo, Penny K, Tim York, Dr. Torque, good to see you. And imagine other people are going to start rolling in here. We'll shout you out as you come in and everything.
That's what's up. What up, Wingo, Penny K, Dr. Torque, Carlo? What's happening? PG.
That's right. There's Dennis. Second replacement is shipping sometime next week. Good, man. Good. Hopefully you won't have that buzzing issue anymore, and you'll be good and taken care of, man, because I know it's been a nightmare for you, man. So prayers for you, man. I hope everything's going good on the next one.
Yeah. I hope that works out, man. My start button just went, like I just said. So we're all going through it.
It's unfortunate. So anyway, let's get into the show, guys. Going to go ahead and give a shout out to Legends HD Season 1, Week 6 of Flipper Friends winners. There's your winners right there. $15 coupons and everything going out to y'all. Congratulations. Gamer Fridge, what's going on? And Marine 50, good to see you as well.
Marine, what up, gamer?
Yeah. Currently we have the Flipper Friends going on season 2, week 7. It's Egypt, Battlestar Galactica, and Woods Queen, the retro version, the original version. I did pretty well on Battlestar Galactica. I ended up getting up to 3rd place or 4th place in that Flipper Friends tournament. Thanks to Tomato Grass, and watching him play motivated me to get in there and play at the same time. Actually made it to wizard mode and beat it, and started on the second one, but ended up sinking. So, but I got up to 4th place. So, shout out to Tomato Grass on doing a great stream. Egypt, I don't get it. I can't get that multi-ball started. I can't get done what he does, man. And Woods Queen is frustrating as hell. You got to nudge, and I'm not coordinated enough to nudge like that. So hats off to him and Mad Ben Han on how great they play on those tables. So congratulations to those guys. Even though they're not guaranteed to win gift cards, they still get the top of that leaderboard. So
yeah, I haven't really played these tables since they came out, to be honest.
But Central Grade 37 got an upgrade, basically some box art fix.
Yeah, well, what's funny about this is we thought it was the back glass for Black Hole.
Dude, I
went around posting it everywhere. I'm telling everybody, like, check out the back glass. They're like, it's been like that. I'm like,
yeah, so like it's like a Mandela
I'm super
effect.
fried.
Mandela effect, like left Twix, right Twix kind of deal, stuff like that, and the way different logos look. Fruit Loom has the loom in the back and all that kind of stuff. That kind of effect on you. So anytime I was playing Black Hole before, I was like, I don't know. I never noticed the back glass moving like it did on the real pinball machine. And then
I was excited. I was recording it moving.
It looked good, man. I was like, dang, dude, they actually fixed that. And I was like, wait a minute. Everybody's like, no, dude, it's always been like that. I was like, oh.
P-Dubs was like, this is a great move by them.
P-Dubs didn't even know.
Nobody knew. So anyways, it was a centigrade upgrade, which really, it doesn't do much.
Has it always rotated? See? Yes, Dr. Torque. It's always apparently rotated. And that's everybody's telling me. So
yeah, I had to go back and watch people's, reviews of the tables when it came out and it was rotating. I'm like, damn, I feel dumb.
It's kind of my fault, man. I started you on it. You're like, what's different about it? I'm like, I don't know. Has the back glass always rotated like that? And you're like, no, I don't think so. Let's make a video on it. I was like, oh, well, damn it.
That one left. Breaking news.
So yeah, blame us on the Mandela effect on that. But nah, what it was Central Grade 37 got to update the box art or whatever is what they were calling it. Was incorrect, but now it's been fixed apparently to make it the correct artwork. So congratulations.
Yeah.
But coming Monday, Natural History Pack 3 releases, and you get the Dinosaur Dynasty 2, the Insect World, the World of Microbes, and Nature's Fury. Great table names compared to Egypt, Africa, and Deep Ocean and Polar Expedition. So finally, we got some great names for these things, and hopefully,
I think it's better theming to outside of the dinosaur one, which we've like I said, we've had enough dinosaurs at games. I don't know why they're so obsessed with dinosaurs, but let's chill on the dinosaurs for the next year. Okay.
They could have done more pirate theme.
And insects, microbes, that's new. That's different. I want to try that out. Nature's Fury, that could be interesting. Like you said, tornadoes, volcanoes, earthquakes, tidal waves, whatever. There's so much you could do with that. dinosaurs, relax. But yeah, this could be interesting. We'll see.
It's gonna be like Jurassic World's dinosaurs. Now they're gonna have feathers on them and stuff like that, like real dinosaurs did apparently.
And then just call them chickens.
Angry meat eating chickens.
Chicken Dynasty Part 1.
There you go. So Electronic Gaming Monthly Compendium.
Compendium.
Thank you.
Yeah, Compendium. It's just basically like I imagine it's like an omnibus that they got with comics where you kind of get a little bit of everything, you know.
Different covers, the best articles and stuff like that.
Yeah, well, yeah, I guess a compendium's not like an omnibus. An omnibus probably has everything, like every book in a certain series. And then like a compendium is probably like a highlight of their history.
Ray, I guarantee you somebody's going to post a video probably tomorrow or Saturday. I just have that feeling it's coming.
Well, you know, the influencers, they get access to the stuff early, so you know they probably will be releasing stuff very soon.
Somebody's got their hands on it right now. I'm sure of it.
Yeah, we'll get it later. Don't worry.
Yep, we'll see Monday unless it gets pushed back again, but we'll see.
But yeah, this is dope. Sushi X. Shout out to Sushi X.
Who's Sushi X?
Sushi X was like a reviewer in Electronic Gaming Monthly.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I mean, I used to be subscribed to this when I was younger and used to like pick these up in like grocery stores and everything anytime I would see them. So,
yeah, they'd have these different like review guys that had cool little names and characters kind of.
That's awesome. That's retro that you even remember.
Yeah, they were like aliases. That's matter of fact. Look, this is where Ermac started for Mortal Kombat because he was a fake April Fool's. He was an April Fool's Day joke in this magazine.
Yeah.
So on April, all the kids got the magazine and they were trying to put in this code to make Ermac come, you know, appear in the game, and he wouldn't appear. It was a joke from Midway in this magazine on all the kids in the entire world. And then they ended up later adding them to the game in MK3 Ultimate, I think.
Yeah.
You know, that was kind of like giving back to the fans because they trolled us so hard in this magazine.
So awesome. I see, like, this is part of my childhood where I just remember reading reviews of games. I remember because that's all I really cared about. I wanted to see pictures of the newest games coming out and what the reviews, what people thought of them, like reviewers, because that determined on if I was going to save up my money, like my allowance money to get that.
And I correct me if I'm wrong. I believe Shang Long, the Street Fighter character that I think taught Akuma, like he's actual a canon character now. He also came from an April Fool's joke in this magazine. So they had been doing it like every year, you know, they'd like fool kids with some kind of fake gaming cheat code or something like that.
That's crazy, dude.
But I grew up reading this too heavy, so I remember like stuff like that, you know, because I like Nintendo, but I liked other consoles too. So I got this, and my best friend used to get Nintendo Power, and we used to like trade magazines in school, you know.
Yeah.
And so I remember EGM very vividly.
I remember it using it for Killer Instinct combo moves, finishers, and Mortal Kombat finishers.
Yeah, fatalities.
Because
like, there was no internet.
Yeah. And if you knew the list of this, if you knew the list of all the moves and all the combos and everything, like you were considered like king of elementary school back then. Like,
like, you could be the biggest nerd or the most uncool kid, but if you knew the fatalities and you could kick someone's ass in the game, you were instantly cool, and everybody wanted to know what you knew. You know?
Yeah. For sure. And I used to draw like the cover art of characters and stuff. I used to like just try and draw that kind of stuff. So man, like this is part of nostalgia, guys. If y'all are interested in picking this up, I know it's in Arcades Anonymous' Discord, like the link for it. Pick this up because this is part of history, especially us growing up, you know, in that age. We're like that perfect age. I remember riding my bike to the local candy store, picking up EGM, Game Pro, and before that, Electronic Games Magazine, which was early through the late 80s before the others. Yeah. Game Pro was awesome as well.
What's up, Thumper Squid?
Which one had they did the Mad TV thing in it? If anybody remembers, was that Game Pro or was that Electronic Gaming Monthly that would do every now and then they would just have like Mad TV section?
I don't know. I don't remember.
Or Mad Magazine, whatever it was.
I remember Mad Magazine, but I don't remember it being in a gaming book.
It was in some gaming book. Somebody I know will remember. I just got my pre-order for the Reaper. Now I just need to figure out how the best way to consolidate all the sensors, cables. Oh yeah, it's a spider web as hell. That's why I put it in my T2 and I never looked back. Everything just looks clean, man. So if you got a cabinet or you can find a cabinet on Marketplace that you just want to just transform into your ultimate shooting cab, I would go that route, honestly. Especially if you put the 19-inch screen that has the sensors built in, like Buy Stuff does. It's awesome. Like this T2 cab, I'll never get rid of it for that reason.
What we got next?
So next up is this: using your PS5, you can download this 3D print, and Pizza Hut wants you to keep your pizza warm by I guess putting it on top of your PS5. And does it use like USB or anything, or is it just
you're using the excess heat the machine produces to keep your pizza warm?
Jesus.
Yeah. And it's not sponsored by Sony or nothing like that. You know, it's kind of like it's just something Pizza Hut put out there, you know, trying to, you know, get gamers to pay notice to them. So probably to sell pizzas, actually. But I got the print file in the description of my video. So if anybody wants to print this up and, you know, give it a go for it. Let us know how it works out.
Yeah, where's Kevin Clausen? He was talking about his 3D printer last night. I think
Unk's got one.
Kevin Clausen.
Unk's got a PS5 and a 3D printer. I'm like,
all right, talk to Unk, man. We'll get him set up on this. Retro Lizard's got a big 3D printer. He could probably do this. So upgrade your console with the hottest pizza warming technology. Use the warmth from your gaming system to keep your slices warm while you play.
Look, Carlo, damn, I shouldn't have sold my PS5. Right? Right? Like, you could totally put your pizza in it now.
Yeah, that would work, Mike Hockhurts. Time Crisis, you could do that with, or hell, you can do that with any kind of cab, really, and just reskin it as something else and put all the parts in it and everything. So yeah, Xbox says IHOP, PlayStation has Pizza Hut.
You know what I'm talking about? Hey.
Oh, that's awesome.
Partnerships. It's all about partnerships. We got some more partnerships right here. New Era,
continuing on, man.
You know,
this is beautiful, man. I love what New Era is doing. You know, last time we showed Ninja Turtle collaboration.
Ninja Turtle. Yeah, that was a New Era, but they're sold exclusively at Lids, and these are on the New Era website you can get. And it's got some midway crossover vibes, you know. Got your Sub-Zero vibes, your Scorpion vibes right there.
Exactly. And this is totally my style of hat too. The flat bill, especially if they're fitted. I don't know if they are or not. They're probably going to be snapback. But
I like that little, yeah. Oh, got the fatality joint. That's a snapback.
I love that one. That one I might pick up, actually. If not the red one from the previous screen, this one here, but I definitely love this one. So
yeah, that's pretty clean, man.
Yeah. And then finally you got the regular curved bill with the Noob Sabat.
Yeah, kind of got the new vibes there. Yeah, I think that fatality one, I like the fatality one and the Sub-Zero one.
Yeah, for sure. That's my favorites too. But man, we're gonna keep it up, man. So what I was talking about earlier, we're gonna go take a little trip down memory lane. Now we know that this one existed because somebody got it, right? Somebody in the community got it.
Yeah.
So RK1Up made this, and several other ones we're going to show you.
We know
Arcade
they
One Up
made
showed that
they
they
made
made
at
them.
least one prototype of this. That John D said it was a 1-of-1. So I imagine if he knows what he's talking about, this was a 1-of-1 prototype. But what we're gonna do, yeah, like Chaotic said, is we're just gonna go through, down memory lane, all the ones, the what ifs of Arcade One Up, the what ifs, like what could have been, and we want to know from our viewers which ones you guys really wanted to see, which ones you think had the most the best opportunity to blow up, and make a lot of sales.
Yeah, and we discovered in the community that a lot of people were definitely interested in this. I remember James Hates Everything said he reached out to the guy and offered him money. P Dubs even offered the guy $1,000 for this and was turned down. So that's nuts.
Yeah, and people say these things don't retain value, but try buying a Defender Partycade or try buying a Track and Field 1-of-1. Like, good luck, So
yeah,
there's it, market value. I always felt is based on what people are willing to pay for something, right?
yeah.
And right now there's a market value for these for rare items. So that's why we kind of want to go through these two, get everyone's gears turning, and maybe even encourage Arcade One Up to quit making the same 3 cabinets and do something different every now and then.
Yeah, either do like this kind of proves the fact that if they did direct to consumer Kickstarter type deals where you don't have to make 10,000 of them, make 200.
Right.
And something rare like this, like even the Supreme cabs, even though we don't like that, me and you don't like that kind of thing, but they did make a limited number of those, and people are trying to
There's
sell those for thousands of dollars.
Yeah, there's people that like that brand that I could see them like. I didn't like it because I seen how it was going to lead to them making Oreo collabs and like 7-Eleven collabs and all these weird one-offs they've done. So this kind of stuff, like if they took the limited runs kind of model, that I think would be ideal for them, right? Where you do some crowdsourcing as far as the funding goes. You do a limited 300, 200 run of certain cabs, see who's interested in it by making them make a non-refundable deposit and go from there,
See, now we got people fighting in chat over Chicago and New York style. Which one's the better?
Oh,
I don't know.
okay.
I had true Chicago style a couple of months, like a month ago, and it was damn good, man. Like I'm actually gonna order some, have them ship it to me next day. Like me and the wife already talked about it. Like we miss it that much. So
Yeah.
But back to the subject, man. So like the rarity of this kind of stuff makes people want to buy it, right? Even if they made small like quantities of these, I think
No,
they would sell, man.
not more rumors of Track and Field, Kevin. We're kind of going down memory lane on cabs that could have been or been leaked, and we just want to, talk about the missed opportunities, kind of. So go to the next slide for us.
Yeah, absolutely. So there's another one that we seen before.
Yeah.
And with that S&K cab, which they wanted to do like a King of Fighters, and then they wanted to do a Metal Slug version.
Yeah.
Just have Metal Slug games, King of Fighters games, and then what's the other one? Oh gosh.
Oh.
The other fighting one, the one with May.
Yeah.
I know
I'm
Mark
drawing
of
a
the
blank
Wolves is
right
one of
now
the
too.
games on it.
Where's Jason right now?
All right. I need
drawing a
somebody to
blank
help me
too.
out. But you know what I'm talking about. You got they just had these special cabs that they want to do.
I mean, they got a bunch of them. Samurai Showdown.
Yeah, they were going to do that too. So, like
Yeah,
John D was talking about doing this kind of stuff back in the day, right? And they made the prototype. This was the only prototype that they actually showed off. But, you had your King of Fighters with that Swan style cab and everything. So,
yeah, I think what happened with this one was the MVSX.
yeah.
I think this shut this down. It
Unicode
was
shut this down.
Yeah, it was it pretty much, it was like I think they saying why do this when we could just do it all in one and keep all the money to ourselves. And Mike should know better than anybody. Let's see what Mike got to say.
Yeah,
Still be cool.
One up cab would still be cool, but the online features would make it or break it for many. And yeah, you're absolutely right. I would love my MVSX even more if it had online play.
Fatal Fury.
Thank
Jason.
you, Fatal Fury, the Fatal Fury series, the one with
I was there, bro. I just couldn't, because I'm thinking I'm going World Heroes, or I'm going Samurai Showdown. Or what's the other one?
Yeah, because King of Fighters is the 3-on-3, and Fatal Fury was 1-on-1, but with the same characters and everything, and I preferred that style of gameplay. So
yeah, and you see, this was back when they still had their like shark fin cab, you know, design. So it was still like around right before probably the KI, you know, because KI kind of still almost had that.
Yeah, 2019, right? 2018, 2019.
Yeah, and this leaked, I think, from a retailer, and then they were all pissed about it.
Yeah, and then Unico showed off their MVSX, and Arcade went up. It's like, nope, this ain't happening no more.
Yeah, that was like the rug was pulled at that point.
Yeah,
but it was cool to see it.
Yeah. Now we also know this cab also existed, and the reason why it didn't sell is because retailers said it would be better if it was burger time, right?
Yeah, well, the fans did too, I think, and but at the time, it was meant because Scott, right, the CEO of Arcade One Up, so yeah, so he was, you know, this was his favorite game, so he wanted one of these, you know, so, but then it got reskinned, so it kind of still exists as Burger Time, but it's still pretty rare, right? You know, even as Burger Time is pretty rare, and it goes for a hefty price tag. So I wonder how many of these they Arcade One Up, you know, John D said that track and field was a 1-on-1. I wonder how many karate champs exist, because there's at least 2 in this picture, unless that wall's a mirror next to it, you know.
Doesn't look like it. I think they were side by side, and this was in Miami's office, right? Because several others were in Miami's office. People were taking pictures of.
It could have been, but I think they might have actually showed this one off in public a couple times, like way back. I think when they were first, because this was around the time when Asteroids, Rampage. It was one of the early cabs.
Yeah, for sure. Yep, and then they said, "Oh man, let's do Burger Time instead." So exact same games list, same control panel, just different artwork and different cab shape, of course, because Burger Time had to have its own special.
Different skin, basically, same cab, same PCB.
Cab. Yep,
but I think the Burger Time looks better.
Oh yeah, like that's more, to me, it's more iconic. And honestly, it's a rare cabinet that a lot of people are searching for, and it's hard to find one less than like $700, right?
Yeah, they ain't
used, cheap. Beat up the hell, and people were like, "Oh, I'll pay $700 for that."
Yeah, they're not cheap. They want that certificate, though. They want that.
So people like Galaga Guy 88 and Nerd Lounge Master 84, y'all both got one, and I am completely jealous of you. I would love to have that cab. Especially after I saw G.I. Joel put his riser on one, the inline riser. It looks dope. Burger Time as a deluxe cab looks sick.
That was one of the first cabs where they had the custom side panels too, where it really stood out.
Absolutely. So moving on, I know a bunch of people in this chat wanted a Spy Hunter. That's all they really wanted, was a Spy Hunter. And for them to design a sit-down cab as Spy Hunter was something dope.
Yeah.
I don't remember ever seeing this cab. So this is the first time I've ever seen this not a render, but you know.
This was a real cab they had in their offices that leaked, you know, with them leaked photos back in the day. But yeah, this is one, like, you know, I was begging John D for give me let me get a rare item, you know, I'll pay the shipping. I was like, I know you got a couple things in the basement or the attic, dog. Like, this is one like I would love to get my hands on, bro, because it's definitely probably a 1-on-1.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, people love Spy.
I would
Chat's
totally be
already
down
going
for it if it was
crazy.
a stand up too.
Yeah, even a stand up would be dope. But yeah, I just love the side panels on this, and the
They
steering wheel. Look how badass that steering wheel looks on there.
I know, dude. They really should have offered a second run of Burger Time and a limited run as Karate Champ. I already had the controls for it, anyways. Yeah, absolutely. What's up, Peter? Good to see you, man.
Pete.
So, I know, like I said, a lot of people in this community would kill to have this kind of thing, man, and I wish they would have come back and made this.
Yeah, man. I think this would have sold well within the community too, man. I know a lot of the retro homies would want this in their house for sure. I wonder what other games would have been on here. What y'all think, chat? Would have been some
I would
good
think
games.
you would have the arcade version of Spy Hunter and probably the NES version of Spy Hunter, and then I would think Spy Hunter 2 or Super Spy Hunter, whatever it was called, that would probably work on there as well.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of some other arcade games that.
We're about to get a crap load of responses on that because there's plenty of people that know exactly what they would put on it. But so would you say that it's a missed opportunity that they didn't sell this?
Demolition Derby, Spy Hunter 2, Paperboy. Paperboy might work on there,
yeah. Paperboy would definitely work on there considering the way that control panel is, I think.
Would you ask me, Chaotic?
I was asking you, would you say, because going back to the cabs that we were just showing, I want to go back and say, is this a missed opportunity, or would you say, are you glad it kind of didn't go? Do you think it would be?
I'm not glad it didn't happen. I think it would have sold, and yeah, I'd say it's a missed opportunity. I think anytime they offer something different, I think it's a missed opportunity.
Yeah, I think this would have been a successful cab, especially if they had like the Star Wars type yoke with the trigger buttons on it, so you can make the gun shoot from the car.
Yeah, that would have been a good idea too.
Yeah. Off-road challenge could go on there. All Midway games.
You know what's crazy is if you look at that cabinet shape, it's shaped like Fast and the Furious, pretty much. The top of that cabinet.
The side art panel.
The side panels, yeah. It's pretty much, I mean, that's pretty much Fast and the Furious, the same shape.
Yeah, you're actually kind of not wrong on that. I still wish that cabinet had it sold out. I missed out on opportunity on getting Fast and the Furious. So yeah, missed opportunity. I think this would have sold well if it would have came out, man.
Yeah, and there was a certain window when that cab came out that it probably would have did really well in too,
So I remember this at the time they showed off the ketchup and mustard time crisis that they had. No coin door, looked plastic, looked terrible. I remember they had this in the backdrop as well, with the different casino cades and the different like brands and different I guess artwork basically. Price is Right, Planko.
I think this was either that was like a little, like you said, something hanging in the background like a backdrop, but I think it might have been a flyer or two or something you would get inside of the casino cade, or you know how they have the flyers inside arcade 1-ups, that the instruction booklet that'll show like other products you could buy. I think this was in the casino cades originally.
Yeah. So, and I also predicted, I was like, if the Wheel of Fortune casino cade sells well, I guarantee you're probably going to end up seeing a Jeopardy skinned one eventually. Because those shows are always back to back on TV.
Yeah, they kind of go hand in hand,
and they go hand in hand, right? So,
and then you
I still predict that you're going to see a Jeopardy one eventually. Just some kind of skin, but
But I don't like the casino cades, but you also know I like party cades. So with that said, I think this is a missed opportunity too, because what I actually like about these more than the casino cades.
What's that?
It's got the lever on it.
There you go. Exactly, man. That's the biggest missed opportunity. Instead of hitting that button, over and over and over again. Have me a pull arm, man, pull lever. That would have sold it.
Yeah, especially if they did it right, you know, and it's pretty sturdy, you know. I that might have been the reason why they didn't make them though, which is unfortunate.
Yeah, totally agree with you, Mike Hawkins. That the Partycade, Casinocade always looked more marketable than full size Casinocade because I mean, just the way it looks, hanging on the wall, pull that lever, pull up a stool or a chair up to it, and just sit there and just do it like you would do like in a real casino. You would sit in a chair or a stool and just sit there and pull that arm all day. And that's the missed opportunity, man.
Yeah, I think so. I think, and it also, you know, it makes you realize how bad the Wheel of Fortune Casinocade is in that aspect where it's just missing that feature, which would have added such a fun factor to it, you know, in my opinion, which, you know, you could say, okay, that fun factor might wear off after a while, but you know, when new people come over, they're going to want to pull that lever and play some casino caves and feel like they're actually at a casino, you know, and it just gives you that immersion, just like a plunger does, I imagine, on your pinball machine, right? You know, and
exactly.
And I also like all the skin options they had here. You know, if you were a Deal or No Deal fan, or you were a Jeopardy fan, or a Price is Right fan, or Wheel of Fortune, you got a little Marilyn Monroe, Elvis. I think Press Your Luck up there. Like, it's just a little something for everybody, right? You know, and with the Casinocade, all we got was one option, Wheel of Fortune, which was underwhelming.
Yeah, I don't think many people would have bitched and complained about the small screens and all that if it was a Partycade, and if you had, and it wasn't touch screen, you know, like if you could actually, I don't know,
Thumper Squid said I could see my aunt sitting there all day smoking cigarettes playing this. Yeah, it's funny.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong, man. But yeah, if they made this, it would make this one on an armband that's actually had them working arms. It would sell a lot of them. Yeah, absolutely. My grandma passed away. They missed a guaranteed sale. Yeah, sorry to hear that, man. But yeah, you're totally right. That's where Bally went after pinball machines. Yeah. So missed opportunity, man. I still think there's a market for these if they made it with the pull arm, everything like that, and to a Partycade style. I think it would sell.
And they keep trying to slim their cades down, you know, slim their 3/4 scale down to like a quarter scale. So you're trying to save money right here. I feel like it's a good option to save money, and it's actually a little bit more interesting.
Yeah, go to Costco with this. How can they say no?
Right.
Well, we're promoting gambling. No, you're not. You don't put any money into it, and no money comes out of it. What does it matter? It's not. You're not promoting gambling.
Well, they'll know it's a toy. It'll say it right on the box. You know.
Yeah. So missed opportunity there. I do remember these. Now I do remember that they were walking a dog in the office and everything. They had the dog mascot for our.
Yeah, they're falling like they're snapping pics like they weren't doing shit.
Yeah.
As they walk by.
Yeah, so I remember these cocktail tables. I remember the two cabs in the background, which was the tapper with the fridge in it, the Sonic Hedgehog cab, and the cocktail tables.
Yeah, the tapper with the fridge is badass. I think it has some little cup holders in it too, it looks like, but I could be wrong about that. And then Sonic the Hedgehog, we all kind of wondered like what was going to be on that cab, you know, because there was a Sonic arcade game, but it took a trackball.
Yeah,
and it wasn't widely released. And then
it was terrible, actually.
Yeah, and I actually think there might have been one or two other Sonic arcade games, but I know that main one was the trackball one, you know, because arcades were going on about the time. You know, Sonic was fading out. So
yeah, I mean, the only other way I could see them doing is like the newer game Sonic Mania. If they made that into a cab, they would license that one into it and everything. Maybe.
Yeah,
Sonic Mania was like a redone version of the original Sonic games.
I still never really understood that, you know, and I'm kind of, that's one where I feel it's not a missed opportunity. It was a good decision not to do a Sonic cab, in my opinion. You know, unless they had something creative, something new, you know, some new Sonic game from Sega, you know.
So, in a way, if you look at these cocktail tables, you would have to think that this eventually turned into that Mrs. Pac-Man
Yeah.
Galaga Class 81, because you got the 4
Mhm.
cup holders. They added the LED lights to them, and this came into fruition, but just reskinned as something else. They didn't do a Street Fighter version or a regular Pac-Man version or even a Marvel version. They went with the Class 81 because that's been the most popular,
Yeah.
I guess,
I think
of the reskins and the redesigned cabinets.
their
That's probably
analytical
still the
data
best.
said this is the safest bet.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
But they,
I imagine them Street Fighter because they had the other Street Fighter tabletop. You know, I imagine
yeah,
that didn't sell too well. That any of the Capcom ones, they were trying to push them. They had the ones that were all black too for a while. They were trying to like push them at discount prices, and nobody wanted them. You know.
yeah. I mean, you can go to certain websites and you can still get the Marvel versus Capcom cab or cocktail table. You can still pick up the Mortal Kombat cocktail table and the Pong cocktail table,
Yeah.
and
Yep.
none of those have the cup holders or anything in them.
Correct. Yeah.
So if
Just to
they're
mess
still
back.
available, that means they're not selling worth of crap. Now, Costco may have figured something out with the Class 81 with the cup holders, LED cup holders. Those probably are selling pretty well. Imagine they're probably going into a lot of Airbnbs. I was looking at Airbnb yesterday to plan a special birthday thing for my wife next year. And every single one, we were looking for like, nice amenities like pool tables and stuff. Every single one of them had like either a cocktail table or arcade one up inside the Airbnb. So I was like, I imagine that's probably where a lot of those are going.
Yeah, they make their sales. That's where a lot of them Pac-Man sales are going right there.
Yeah, for sure. There were some Nintendo owners that only played Sonic in the 90s as an arcade game via the Mega Play Arcade. Sonic wouldn't be my pick, but better than a lot of what we got in 2024. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Mario and Sonic even had a arcade version. Yeah,
yeah, I remember playing playing Nintendo Choice arcades. I never really liked those even when I was a kid. I'll be honest, I wasn't a big fan. I was
dude,
like,
I
man,
forgot about Mega Play. I
I
forgot
could
about
play it.
that.
I could play. Yeah, it was pretty much the same thing. It had a bunch of Sega carts in it, but I remember being like just underwhelmed because I could go play that at home. A lot of those games. So like
What's
I
up,
always,
Core Arcade?
what up?
Hey, man, you might want to stick around, dude. You might be the community spotlight. Just saying.
Just saying.
All right, moving on. We also saw this was in the Miami office for sure. I know for a fact somebody was taking pictures or doing video and they shot this. Saw
Yeah,
the
Double
side art.
Dragon.
Double Dragon 2 to Revenge was the main game, right? And then I think it had Double Dragon 1 and Double Dragon 3 on it as well.
Yeah,
But it
I
had the
think it was
Double
just
Dragon
skinned as
series.
Double Dragon 2 to Revenge.
Yeah, because I mean, Double Dragon 1 didn't have the side art. It was just that nasty looking plain cabinet look. I forget the name of the company. It wasn't Taito. Was it Taito? I don't. Somebody tell me in chat. It was that ugly, like gray and green color cabinet with the lines and stuff like that, right? Double Dragon 2 had the actual side art.
Oh my. Yeah, I think it was Taito. I could be wrong though.
You might be right. Actually, I think I might have been right.
Taito.
Part of the reason why I love my Intech Genesis deck so much are Genesis games were generally very good ports of arcade games. Yeah, like Strider. Good God, there's so many other ones, but Strider just comes to mind automatically.
Lord, bless me.
Yep, it is Taito.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jason. Thank you, Six. I don't seem stupid after all. What do you think, chat? Do you think this was a missed opportunity by Arcade 1UP? I mean, think about it. iArcade did it for they had that plain black cab that you had to skin it yourself with the Double Dragon skin. But they were going to do it. So
Yes,
Arcade One Up did this and it didn't happen.
it's definitely a missed opportunity. Just sales wise, they would have sold a lot of these. Because this also leaked during a time when people were just thirsty for something new,
Yeah, and I think that's when I think this was when iArcade like really jumped on it too. And they're like, well, if y'all aren't going to do it, we're going to go ahead and do it and get it out as soon as possible. I think that's the reason why it shipped as a black cabinet and you had to do the artwork yourself. It's because they were trying so fast to get it out the door before Arcade One Up released this. Yep, there you go. Boom. The Double Dragon Cab 2 cab was the one I would buy for the artwork. I wasn't a fan of the Double Dragon 1 art that was on the iArcade. So there you go. Missed opportunity right there, man. And people were pissed when iArcade took the Double Dragon games off. I guess when they didn't renew the license or whatever, and they took the games off.
Yeah, I wasn't a fan of that iArcade, and that's crazy, just losing the license, and then so the people that bought the game couldn't re-download it, or people,
Correct. And when the mystery encoder hack came out, the mystery encoder board, you could find a way to, because it was still in their store where they had Double Dragon 2 and Double Dragon 3. They were still available in the store where you could actually download them if you had that hack. But the moment you connected online, it took them away.
That's wild.
So I remember dealing with that like the first week I got the iArcade, because I got it 2 weeks before they went out, and then I ended up selling it because I didn't like it anymore. But
doing your customers like that will definitely make them lose faith in you as a company.
Yeah, don't take games away from me, man. Even if I was supposed to get them for free or bought them or whatever, don't take them away.
Don't do that.
Bad customer service.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't do it. But yeah, I think this is a missed opportunity. They could have made some money off Double Dragon for sure.
Oh, that's a great idea. My nephews would go all day on Road Rash 2 head to head. So man, Road Rash was so good. I still have Double Dragon 1 and 2 on my arcade. So yeah, I remember when they took them away. If you connected it onto their internet and their servers saw it, if it didn't match in their store for having it, they would take it away from you. So I remember those days. We had to all take our machines off until after their servers died. Once their servers died, it was fine.
Yeah, Road Rash was definitely dope. Why are we talking about? Wait, what happened? How we talk about Road Rash?
Yeah, because Genesis. It was Genesis days.
Road Rash on 3DO was dope. Since we're on that,
that was the best port. That was hands down the best port. All right, so we had the Paperboy cab and Hubert Tetris cab, which was a weird mashup, right? So
yeah, that almost looks like some AtGames kind of art on the front of that, where they was just mashing up whatever, a bunch of games, whatever they could fit on the kick panel.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about the AtGames Legends Mini, the Tetris edition, had something very similar like that on the front. It didn't have keyboard, of course, but it had blocks like that, colored blocks.
I think that cab wasn't a missed opportunity because I think obviously Hubert needs a dedicated control panel.
Yes, with the diagonal control panel as well as the knocker. That would be a selling feature for sure.
So yeah, that's probably why this cabinet never came out and didn't really make sense as a combo cab in that sense.
And then the Paperboy cab, that would have made a lot of people happy, especially Paperboy fans out there, that it would have the correct controls, like with the bike handles and stuff like that.
Yeah,
But
it's
what
pretty.
other games would go on there?
It's pretty much a modded, Star Wars. It's if you look at it, it's the Star Wars cab just modified, right, into a paperboy cab.
Yeah.
You know,
No,
they
you're
just
absolutely right.
yeah, like the side panels, everything. It's the exact same shape as Star Wars. So, what else would have been on this? I know there was a paperboy too, but I don't know if that was console only.
Yeah. Could play motorcycle games too. Yeah. I mean,
Definitely, yeah. If there's any kind of motorcycle games, yeah, I don't know. Hmm, that's a good question. What else would you put on this?
yeah, I
I
can't think of
mean,
anything else.
back then too, they were getting away with putting one or two cabs on a game, so or games on a cab. So
Road burners.
road
Okay.
burners
Now you're talking, Jason. Bike
or
rally from Midway. Okay. Now you're talking. Early arcade game called Stunt Cycle. Jesus, man. Come on, guys.
yeah, see these
I
guys
should
now.
give y'all the mic. Y'all know what
They
y'all
got
talking about better than I do.
yeah. When can we tune into your show?
That's awesome.
Yeah, I don't know road blasters if that would work on there or not.
Road burners.
Road blasters was
Um,
not a
Road
arcade game.
blasters was kind of like Spy Hunter in a deal where you had to shoot with the
Then
steering wheel and
that
everything.
might have worked. That might have worked for the Spy Hunter cab. Then who
Yeah.
knows?
What is that on the screen? What's up, Retro Lizard? Yeah, so we're going down memory lane, man, of prototype cabs the Arcade One Up showed off or leaked,
Mhm.
and
This
these
was
are
one.
real cabs that they made that just never made it to retail, or they showed
Yeah,
these off to retailers, and retailers like, nah, we're gonna pass on that.
yeah, something that just never made it out the prototype stage, and we're kind of just debating on and
Was
talking
it a
with the
missed
chat.
opportunity or not?
Yeah, and seeing what the chat thinks about, which you should pop up some of these chats on the page too, because they got a lot going on. But yeah,
Yeah. Yes, we know John D leaked these, not One Up, but they are One Up cabs. So
yeah, we're just saying they're leaked one-up cabs, pretty much.
yeah. Don't know why they need retailers to sell it off your website. Yeah, we talked about doing Kickstarters or doing direct to consumer and just doing like rare, like small, limited numbers, actual limited numbers, and seeing gauging your community how they would sell. I mean, you made a
Yeah,
prototype, might as well pop them out there, a couple hundred of them at least, try to get some money out of them, right? What's up, Big E?
yeah, and we're kind of tired of seeing the same old, same old. Like it's crazy that the community gets more hype about something like this than what they've been releasing the past 3-4 years. So
And something that like Cornercade's like harped on for the past couple of years now, and it's listen to your community. Don't listen to a retailer when it comes to this kind of stuff, man. Because I mean, I understand you're trying to sell for the masses, but you've built this niche, community that's growing every day, and we're constantly saying that, man, I wish they would make this. I wish they would make this cab. It'd be easier if they would just do like a direct to consumer model and get some of these out, right?
every now and then you got to feed the wolves.
Yeah.
You gotta feed the wolves, and
Feed the wolves because we're the ones that are always talking about and like hyping up your company. Like, man, look at all this awesome arcade
yeah,
stuff I got.
that's my point. Is we're the ones that like. First of all, I've got these companies started. Second off, did the word of mouth stuff with people at work and old friends and family members, and then now they're in the stage where they're reaping the benefits of that, where they could just put one in every B&B and every Walmart, but now they forgot about the people that put them on. That's when I say feed the wolves. Every now and then you got to put out a Paperboy, you got to put out a Spy Hunter, you got to put out something different, just to give us something, keep us, excited about your products, because we're not going to keep buying Pac-Man every year. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly, man. Like, if they want to stay alive, they got to spread out. Speaking of, oh well, it's the next slide, but This was another one, man. Like the half Smash TV, half Robotron, or just all Smash TV with Robotron, and total Carnage or Maximum Carnage, something like that.
Yeah,
Whatever it's called.
Total Carnage, Smash TV, and Robotron would have been the perfect game lineup for this. They all had the same controller layout, and yeah, like this was one of the ones that like the community was like bloodthirsty for. Like they wanted this cab, you know what I mean? And they just never gave it to us. It never made sense to me. Like people were crazy about this cab. The only thing the community debated on with this cab was, do you skin it Robotron or do you skin it Smash TV? And I think the majority leaned towards Smash TV, but there was a lot of people like Michael B and them that wanted a Robotron skin version of this cab, you know. So
Stock Jock.
yeah, and I never stock jock exactly, and I never understood why they didn't give us, you know, put out 1,000 Smash TVs and 500 Robotrons or something if that was the case. Like, you know, just it's just a different skin, bro. That's all they had to do. You know, maybe a different PCB boot up screen. That's it. You know, but yeah, Thumper Squid wants Robotron. Exactly. Stock Jock wants Robotron. You know, me, I'm a Smash TV kid. I grew up on Smash TV. I love Total Carnage too. I thought that was a super underrated sequel, you know, and but Robotron, you know, I played that with Michael B in Cleveland, like, and you know, that was next level. You know, that was the first time I actually like sat down and played it, and it gave me a lot of those kind of the same vibes Tempest does with them vector kind of graphics, you know, where
Yeah.
you feel like you're tripping the more enemies you kill because there's all these crazy crazy vector graphics flying all over the screen in different neon colors, you know. But Smash TV was dope too, man. Going to different rooms. There were secret rooms with cash hideouts and the crazy bosses you'd fight, and it was hella gory. Way before, I think it was, I can't say way before, but it was no. This is midway too, so yeah, this is around the time of Mortal Kombat. Like, but it was real gory. I remember it was like one of the only Super NES games that had a lot of gore in it, and I guess because it was cartoony, and I don't know, it slipped under the radar for Nintendo.
Who made Narc? Wasn't that Midway?
Yeah, Narc made. Yeah,
See,
this is.
I think you could throw Narc on here too, with Smash TV in a way.
You don't have enough buttons, really. I guess, right? Do you?
Well, you just need what, a fire button and the left joystick, right?
Yeah, and they didn't have buttons on this. They just had start buttons and joysticks.
Yeah, that's true. If they added more, I think Narc the
Narc would have fit the theming well.
I think it would work.
Yeah, Narc would have fit the theming well. It was the same developer. Like it would have kind of fit pretty good, but they would have had to add a button, you know, for sure.
I'm a Robotron fan, but wouldn't bat an eye if it was only Smash TV. You're damn right, man.
Yeah, Smash TV's got like a cult following, man.
There we go. Stock Jock, do you have room for a 24 by 24 by 70 cab? If so, I can make you a Robotron.
He said, you know, I do if it's Robotron.
There you go. Oh, Narc. Memories of working in the arcade in the 90s as a 16-year-old.
Yeah, Narc, I remember was so crazy because, bro, like that game just had cocaine in it, heroin, like it had all the narcotics in it under the guise of like, well, don't do drugs, kids. But I'm like, man, I'm shooting up crackheads and junkies, and I'm like, we're crazy, like murdering cop. Like I'm just shooting everybody who's addicted. I'm shooting all addicts. Like that game was crazy, bro. Just like we'll never get games like that again. Like that, you know, that it just trips me out. That era, like growing up in that era as a kid playing those kind of games, you know, like looking back is trippy.
Oh god, RoboCop 2. Yeah, you're not playing. Oh man. Yeah, winner don't do drugs on the home screen. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Drugs are bad.
Yeah. So this, we already know, like the community would have ate this shit up if it was a Robotron or Smash TV or both. This was definitely a missed opportunity by them, and easily would have gotten sold if it was direct to consumer. Kind of like what they were going to do with Dragon's Lair, but then they couldn't move it, and so they reached out to retailers, and retailers picked it up. So, I
This
think,
is a fail, one up, another fail. I love that bezel too, how they got the cameras on there,
yes, great
the lights.
bezel. Now, I think the next one. Nope, I got one more after this. This is that weird looking Pong stand up cab. I didn't get this one.
It looks like the OG Pong cab looked like this, like the first arcade Pong cab. It did look like that. Yeah, it was like, had that Pac-Man wood grain kind of vibes. Yeah. So I and I think it even had a recessed screen in there behind that first plexi.
That would make sense.
Yeah. It was different.
Man. It's not something I would want. I would rather have the pub table or the cocktail version instead of a stand-up cab for just straight up Pong. But I get, like, if you grew up in this that day and age of Pong being in a stand-up cab like that, totally get it if you were totally into it.
Yeah. Come on, Stock Jock, where you at now? We need you to stick up for this Pong stand-up cab. You got room for one of these? Yeah, but I think Pong, honestly, I think it plays better as a sit-down game. Kind of, I don't know why. Like I played the one that's got like the styrofoam piece that slides around the table at like the modern arcades. You ever play that one?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got like a physical sliding Pong paddle and stuff, and then it's got like the little piece that'll slide it around, magnetized to the table or whatever. But yeah, I don't know, that experience made me realize, I think Pong's the experience is best sitting down, in my opinion, for some reason.
Yeah, man, Arkanoid would have been awesome in like a cocktail or a Pong table or pub style table too, man. That's a good point. I remember playing Arkanoid and Block Breaker.
I know they got Avalanche on the Asteroids Partycade, and it doesn't play all that great, it's kind of like Block Breaker.
Yeah, but I do remember being outside of a restaurant when I was younger. I played on a cocktail table. It had Arkanoid and Block Breaker on it.
Oh, I used to play the shit out of Arkanoid.
Yeah. I loved the crap out of that. To me, that was the perfect like cocktail table style game. Period.
That game had a way of building. Arkanoid had a way of building up suspense. Like each move would make music, and it would get faster as you went. Doop 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 doop. And you're like, damn, man, you lose.
Yeah. Matt Ben Hahn, good to see you, my man.
What up?
Yeah, that's one of the AtGames pinball legends right there, man.
Yeah. Thor KC says, I kind of want a Pong cab, but can't decide between the head-to-head countercade that's portable and the 4-player pub table that's in this picture right here. Yeah,
it has Warlords, and Warlords is kind of like the main seller, right? Like the four-player game. Oh my gosh,
I know. I want Unc to get one. Come on, Unc, get a Pong table.
I've never played Warlords because I've never had 3 other people to play it with. I think it would be dope.
Yeah, definitely.
If Unc gets it, man, we're gonna have to go to Unc's house and play it.
Hey, he's getting his room together. Actually, he sent me some pictures. I'm like, cool, because I'm trying to get him to get it together by Cleveland Gaming Classic, so we could do, we can link up at his house at least one of the days of the weekend, like a little pregame at his house or whatever.
Oh, I won't make tonight's show. Apparently, there are pirates abducting people with really big peens, taking them out to sea. Don't worry, you and Six are totally safe. But man, their ship is cool.
First of all, pause. Second of all, you don't know what I'm working with, doggy. All right.
Oh my god, I love you, MG. Thank you so much for that comment.
MG, you got to expect him to come in the chat with something that would get the average viewer banned. Brooklyn Menace.
Good to see you, buddy. Oh god, I love you, dude. All right.
This too.
Yeah. So
Missed opportunity.
I was hyped for this because I thought this was real. And I remember what's his name? Big Reese, right? He's the one that leaked this or whatever.
So this wasn't real.
I mean, it
I
was
think
real. It was real, but it wasn't real, right? So
I think it was real because I think this came out around the same time as that Capcom joystick, that says Capcom on it, and it had all these games on it.
I remember this leak was not too far before X-Men 97.
I think it's legit, bro, because they've never had a 3-player, 4-player deck like that,
No, not like it was bigger. It was bigger than Rampage, and
Yeah.
people have been dying for another Big Blue style cabinet, and for it to be a 3-player like this, I think this would have worked, man. I really think so. Like I would have bought it just solely on Aliens vs Predator because it's one of my favorite games too.
Yeah, I think this would have looked so sick, that marquee on a Big Blue style cab. It looked like it had speaker covers even on it. It had the coin door, it was a deluxe model. 19K Fox would have bought this in a heartbeat, even though he made his own, like, had a good games list on it, like King of Dragons, Ghouls and Ghosts, Ghost and Goblins, Strider, Pro Gear. It's got pretty much all the same games that's on like the Shinku, except for a couple of extra editions like Ghouls and Ghosts.
Yeah.
And Aliens vs Predator, obviously. Yeah. And this is one of the best beat 'em ups I think ever too. Like this is up there with Battletoads with me for like Battletoads, X-Men, Aliens vs Predator, some of the best beat 'em ups of all time, that get kind of overshadowed by Simpsons and TMNT,
Yeah. This looks way too good to be of an idea to be anything other than a fan submission to Arcade 1-Up for what they want, and Arcade 1-Up will never give.
You think? I don't know. I mean, I guess we'll never know, but
yeah,
it looks pretty legit to me, man. And I don't know. But yeah,
I guess I've seen what Ezekiel the Chicago Retro Ranger can do with renders. So it's
but that's the thing, like some of their renders look so good that it wouldn't look this bad either. So because this wasn't like I had to put the picture hella small because the quality was so shitty on this. It looked like a picture of a flyer, almost. But
yeah. Where did I see his renders at? Come on, Cornercade. You show them every day, 3 times a day.
How much you paying that guy to do your little your dream cabs?
I know, right?
You need to pay him double. All right, pay him double.
Exactly. That man deserves all your money. Great games list. I mean, I would love to have seen Knights of the Round because that was a 3-player game too.
Me personally, I would like to see them figure out a way to get the Konami Aliens game on here just to make it feel right. But
yeah, just to make it the 20th Century Fox type thing.
Those are the only, outside of shooting games, those are the only 2 Aliens games that were ever in arcades outside of gun games, so
correct.
It would have been nice to see the 2 Aliens kind of beat 'em up games on one cab, but I do realize they're different developers, so that would have been probably a nice licensing nightmare for them,
Yeah.
Man, yeah, I like this, bro. I like the fact that 3 players would have a little bit more space than 4 on a 4-player deck. I like the Big Blue kind of cab shape. Everything about it I like. And this is a property that I'm in love with, Alien and Predator. So
me too. Defender with Partycade game lineup and proper control scheme is another no-brainer. Yeah. If this was an XL, would be a dream cab. Yeah, for hands down, I would pay full price for this. I wouldn't wait for this to go on sale. I would pay full price for this one.
Missed opportunity, 1-Up.
Yeah, definitely a missed opportunity right here.
And with online, this would have been fun.
Oh yeah, I think 19K Fox would probably buy 3 of these and reskin 2 of the other ones something else. But yeah, this would be the marquee game. This will be where it's at.
People love that big blue cab shape, man. Look behind you.
Yeah. Yep. And I made it into a deluxe, and I can't wait to get my big boss control panel and some other things that I'm gonna got planned for it too. I'm gonna make that thing real.
Real.
So yeah, this is my big one that I wanted to have. Out of this entire list, this is what I would have wanted.
Yeah, probably same here.
I don't know, man. This next one right here is something that you would
All
die
right.
for,
All
right?
right.
Come on, man.
I do think it's absurd. I'm not gonna lie. It's a bit ridiculous. But with that said, look behind me, X-Men. I love X-Men. It was one of my bucket list cabs I never thought I would get. So I'm super satisfied with the one I do have. Super satisfied. But this, I mean, come on, bro. I think
You-
the only hurdle they would have really had with this, I mean, outside of it coming in a bigger box, being harder to ship to retailers, would have been like
It would
they
have to
would
be
have,
like an ALP, right? 4KP. It'd have to come in 2 separate boxes.
yeah, potentially, yeah, absolutely, maybe the screen in one box, everything else in another. But like, I think, one of the main hurdles would have been this would have had to been a 6-player ROM, and I think they would have had to make the 4-player ROMs backwards compatible to populate the online community for the 6-player one, because there would
Yeah,
probably be way less people with that version, right?
right.
So but I would have liked that. Like, I don't understand why we don't have the 6-player ROM on this for online mode at the very least. Because it'd be nice to play with the full roster of X-Men when you're online. Even though my cab's only 4 players, why can't I add 2 online players when I play through it? And this cab would have brought that to the table immediately, right out the gate. You would have had 6 players, you would have had online, and it would have gave them reason to push a 6-player online update on the old cabs, which I think would have been cool, because then I could have potentially got this, gifted my X-Men cab to Unc, and then he could have hopped online and played X-Men with me, you know what I mean? So yeah, and this looks a lot like the OG cab. It would have been nice to have a widescreen, mimicking that 6-player Konami cab. Like, that would have been sick.
For sure. So I know you, Cornercade, PD7, y'all would have jumped on this immediately.
Yeah, yeah, probably, yeah. Especially if it was like limited edition, and I knew like I only had a little window to get it, I would have bought it. Yeah,
Couple of hundred of them made.
and it is, like I said, it's obnoxious. I'm not gonna lie, it looks crazy. It's big, it's ridiculous looking, but so was the 6-player cab. And you said you got a chance to see that in person, right?
Yeah, that was at Galloping Ghost.
Yeah, it is ridiculous, right? How big
Yeah, it's
and the double screen.
massive, dude. I mean, it's 2 screens.
Yeah, and then if
Side
you
by
look in
side.
there, like the one screen's like mirrored, right? Like it bounces off a mirror and reflex or something. Like if you look down in there, there's
Yeah,
like a mirror for the one cab. So it's just trippy how they made those cabs work back in the day. And this kind of, I imagine, would have played like the PlayStation, 6-player version, where you had that widescreen format. It would look so much better.
for sure. Yeah, I mean, missed opportunity. It would definitely be like a really super limited edition if they were to do something like this.
Yeah.
Um,
I could
like
see it kind of going the way KI Pro went, where it wouldn't sell. They'd have a hard time selling 500 of these, but
yeah, because you would know by the size of it and everything. It would have to be $1,000.
yeah, it'd probably be a good grand, because you're automatically paying for the screen. That's 300 or something. They're going to charge you, even though it's not a $300 screen or whatever. They're going to charge you the price of a TV just to put that in there. And you got the extra coin door molds that aren't on anything else. You know what I mean? You got the extra joysticks, the extra buttons. They're going to charge you for just the extra the bigger footprint of this cab. But yeah,
Oh wow, you went there, Lauren Morgan. Oh my gosh.
XL Pit Fighter. You know what? You might not like me, but you know how I say Mappy is crappy. Pit Fighter, that's shit fighter. All right, that game.
Man,
You know,
Tattoo Assassins. Oh my
that's
god. Like,
funny. That's funny. And Time Killers. I actually have a little warm spot in my heart for Time Killers.
yeah, Time Killers. I remember playing that. Well, that was on Sega Genesis, right? Um, but Tattoo Assassin, wasn't that the game where you just press a random button, you'll do a random like
It was.
fatality?
I don't know if that was that one, but I know. I think Tattoo Assassins kind of has some Mortal Kombat digitized characters. It was
Yeah,
really
yeah.
bad.
I'll have to go back and look at Angry Video Game Nerds video on Mortal Kombat clones, because he goes through all of the Mortal Kombat style games that are just freaking terrible. And I can't remember if it's Tattoo Assassin or if there's another one that was on, I think it was on Jaguar, but you just press a random button, you'll do a different fatality every time. Like, you don't even have to do a combination or anything. So, like, you could fart on them, vomit on them, drop a trash can on them, or like a dumpster on them. There's another one where
He said,
like, one of the girls like kisses the dude and he like falls over and dies, and it's just weird. Like, every single person has like 25 different fatalities.
Mappy's crappy shit fighter instead of pit fighter. We could do this all day, y'all. Just saying.
The Mappy music's always playing in my head. Oh my god, you got a headache for sure.
Yeah, I feel bad for you.
Should we do a 24-inch or 32-inch screen?
Ooh, obviously 32.
If Arcade 1-Up was doing it, it'd be 24-inch for sure.
Yeah.
If you want to do it properly, you better do a 32-inch.
Yeah, I have a feeling they'd be throwing the old pinball table screens in these.
Yeah.
You know.
Which they told me they were out of stock when mine went out. My
Yeah.
Arcade 1-Up pinball. I had to buy it off of eBay.
Yeah, they'd reach back out to their supplier and say, we need more stock because now we're making a new product, you know. But
yeah. They did tell me like 6 months later that, and I've already sold my Arcade 1-Up pinball a long time ago, but they finally reached out to me and says, hey, we got those screens in, we're ready to invoice you. And I'm like, I'm good. That was 6 months ago, y'all. I'd sold it.
Yeah, I'm good. You missed the memo.
Yeah.
So what we got next?
So this is the meat and potatoes, right? I mean, technically, Arcade 1-Up Memory Lane was meat and potatoes, but the main
really
reason
was.
while we're here was the South Park pinball review.
Yeah, the latest release from AtGames and Zen, you know, and yeah, so I think, you know, we could kind of keep this one low-key sweet, you know, short and sweet, because this table has been out for almost a decade now, technically.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people have already played this, and you know, I know that was the case for some of the other reviews we've done. But this one I feel like didn't get like a proper upgrade. It feels like.
Yes.
It feels like it didn't go through the
felt like just a port, right? They just ported it over and put it in cabinet mode.
Yeah, it feels like a port, and it feels like something was lost in translation along the process of them porting it a little bit. You know, I can't say I hate these tables. I can't say that you know, my favorite out of the pack is the Butters table. I don't know about you.
Okay.
But I think my personal favorite, I think the Butters table plays the best. I think it has the best little, excuse me, side mini games. I think you know, I don't know. I just it's the most enjoyable table to me. I think it has the best table layout and all that. It just makes for the best experience, you know, out of the two. And I'm more partial to the South Park crew than I am Butters just as a separate character. But you know, you get some of the South Park characters on the Butters table too. So, but yeah, anyhow, I in my mind I would lean more towards liking South Park, but the way it plays out, I like the Butters table more. Uh, but with that said, I kind of think something funny is going on. It seems near the slingshot area and the flipper area, seems to be some funny table friction going on, and the ball kind of takes on different physics at random.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Did you notice that?
Yeah. So, in my opinion, the two tables play completely different when it comes to ball physics, in my opinion. South Park, the ball feels heavy and very weighted. Like when it's coming out of when you shoot it into the stand scoop hole and the Kyle scoop hole, and it shoots out, you're able to grab that ball and cradle it like immediately, right? It's that weighted. Even shooting it up the left ramps and the left orbits feels weighted, right? Feels like it's strong, like it's got some speed to it, but it's got some strength to it, but it doesn't feel bouncy at all, right? Butters table is completely opposite. If you try to cradle or try to catch a ball with the flipper arms, it's bouncing all over the place. It's going all over the place. And if you try to catch it, it's just going to roll up the arm and try to go down the middle, or it's going to bounce to the outside lanes. The regular South Park table doesn't do that. The ball feels very weighted and like it's easier to control. That was one gripe I had.
Yeah,
If the physics would switch on the tables, to me, it would feel better to me.
yeah. There's just something like I said going on. It for me, at least where I notice it, it's around that like slingshot flipper area down at the bottom there. That's where the ball physics get a little. They just get a little floaty sometimes, and then other times weighted. It seems like other times it seems like I could really judge it, and then other times I can't. I don't know if it's going to bounce from the flipper and go out. You know, go out the side, or if it's gonna hit the flipper and I'm gonna be able to cradle the ball. So it's weird. It is weird. So unfortunately, it's kind of disappointing because it seemed like Zen was on a roll with these releases, but with this being like a 2014 release that they're re-releasing in 2024, and they just kind of got the license back, from Comedy Central or whatever. So it just seems like they half-assed the port a little bit, especially to this platform in particular. I haven't played it on the other platforms, the re-release of this table, but it it doesn't it's not terrible, it needs some fine-tuning, I think. So, and on the known issues, they say Butters Pinball, the plunger does not work when selecting a mode. Modes can be chosen with the start button by pressing down on the D-pad joystick. DMD images and text in both tables sometimes approach the very edge of the screen. There's no audio feedback when nudging the tables.
That's true.
But it doesn't say anything kind of about the ball physics being a little weird or none of that. So
no, and
maybe by
they didn't play test it like that.
Yeah, or maybe by hearing this feedback, they'll notice what we're talking about. So.
I will say I do appreciate the transparency that AtGames is putting on here now, is that they are on all the product pages for the pinball machines. They are saying that not all games are in 4K anymore. In other words, all the Zen tables are not in 4K. They're going to be most likely in 1440p. So I appreciate that. Also appreciate in the release notes they tell you the flipper latency as well as the pixel count, the display resolution. So I appreciate that they've become very transparent on that. Getting a lot of flack lately. Back to the two tables. So on South Park, I have a couple more problems with it. First of all, I'll say something good. I'll say something good, like as in these two tables, if you look at them, look like they could be real world pinball tables. You know, you got your ramps, you got your wire ramps, you got your spinners with the orbits. Um, Everything feels like it would be based off of a real life table, right? Like somebody could take this table design and make it into a real life table. So I appreciate that look and design. The problem I have with the South Park table is left side of the playfield, plenty to do, plenty of ramps and stuff to hit, no problem. You got scoops, you got orbits, you got ramps. You can hit those all day. Right side, there is nothing to hit but the man-bear pig orbit if you can get it in between the bumpers. And you got those two scoop spots for Kyle and Stan.
Yeah, and that's why I like the Butters table.
Everything else that's in the right side top area of the table, where you got Randy, Kenny, Timmy, and I guess it's a TV that's in the middle, where you hit the terrorist super skill shot at the very beginning. All that's hard to hit with the right flipper. You have to hit that with the left flipper, but it's almost impossible to hit that unless you time it right. When you're using the right flipper, you can hit all that stuff on the left side, no problem. It's just on the right side, there's nothing to hit. So if anytime the ball like goes to the left flipper, you're kind of stuck in what you're going to be able to pick, or a shot that you're going to aim for.
Yeah, you're just going to be taking a bunch of failed shots, sending it right back. Yeah, that's why I like the Butters table. I think it has a better layout.
It has a better flow.
Yeah, that entire right side South Park, like you said, you just a lot of times end up hitting obstructions.
Yeah. Now with the Butters table, my biggest issue is the freaking game modes. Does not give you enough time to do any of them. The only one that you're not timed on is the native mode, where it's a multi-ball mode, right? My biggest gripe with that is the balls are so slippery and bouncy that it's hard to take control of two balls, because once you lose two balls on that 3-ball multi-ball, that mode's over with. Like, you have to start all over. And you have to hit the ramps 15 times with that multi-ball. I'm not saying that the tables are not fun. I'm just, talking about the gripes that I have with some of them. I wish they would give you more time on the other game modes. And I'm number? Am I still number 4 or 6 on Butters? Yeah, I'm still number 6 on Butters right now. The only reason I got 54 million had nothing to do with the game modes. I did not complete a single mode. All I got was that biker multi-ball. I got that 3 times in one ball, and I got a couple of extra balls, and I just, the side missions or whatever, the ones that don't count towards the main goals of the table towards wizard mode. I kept doing those over and over again. So that's the only reason I scored as high as I did on that table, is because I kept surviving. But any of the main game modes that go towards the wizard mode, they don't give you enough time, and it's hard to keep the control of the ball. So that's like my main gripe with Butters. But between the two tables, Butters to me has the better flow, more fun gameplay. Both tables have great call outs and have that South Park feel to them, right? The IP.
Yeah, it's kind of a step back though, getting old, pixelated, dot matrix kind of DMD,
Yeah.
After we've been getting all these nice, DMDs on the latest Zen table. So, but it's an older release, it's to be expected. Yeah, like you said, well, there's another game too on Butters that where the whole playfield changes to a new. That one's not timed either. Yeah, that's not timed either. So,
right. The only problem is if that ball goes between those flippers, you have to start all over.
You're out of that.
You don't get 2 chances on that thing, man.
I was able to complete chaos mode. Like I said, I got to play. Oh yeah. You get like 5 million when you complete that. I was able to complete that, but like I said, I played these tables a couple times and my start button broke, and
Yeah.
I got maybe a half hour in on each table before my start button broke, and I couldn't even exit the table and put in my last high score. So waiting on a replacement micro switch, and then I'll be kicking you off that Butters high scoreboard, just so you know.
Let's go. Let's bring it on, man. I'd love to see that. So scale 1 to 10. How do you rate this pinball pack? $15, 2 tables.
Ooh. Because they're playing rough right now, and $15 for two tables based on that price, and it's hard. I want to give this a 7, but right now it's hard to even give it like a 7. So it's tough, man. I want to say like a 6.5, just because the tables that they have some issues. There's something going on down there. Like we discussed with the table friction or something. Something's going on with the ball physics a little bit there down by the flippers. So I'm gonna say like a 6.5 for the $15. You know, but if the tables play great, I'd probably give it about a 7.5,
Yeah.
Because you're paying like 750 a table at that point, and I feel anything over $5 is kind of pricey.
Yeah. So in my opinion, yeah, I'm gonna give it about a 6. It's I love the IP. I love that I have South Park. It's a
Hmm.
pack that I wanted.
Hmm.
Um, I think if Zen was to dive back into it and do some fixes and updating the physics and everything, I think it could be really good winners. Um, I also want to say that well, I don't remember
Well,
what I was going to
even
say.
with them fixing them issues, it's not going to make the tables better. The layouts better as far as that goes, and
No,
the issues you brought up with, like, playing the missions and being timed, it's not going to change none of that. But it will. It would definitely bump my score up like a whole point. From a 6.5 to like a 7.5. But yeah, I'm definitely. Carlos says we're a tough crowd. 6 and 6.5. Yeah, absolutely, because my tens are like Attack from Mars, Monster Bash. That's like a 10 for me, and then maybe a 9 might be like a Battlestar Galactica, or something like that.
yeah, this last pack that we got, the Universal TV Classic,
Classics, yeah.
yeah, that spoiled us a little bit,
Yeah,
because the SSF kit's loud and popping on Battlestar Galactica. It's present on these South Park tables, but I don't think it's as good as it could be. I think they could tweak that, make that even better.
yeah.
Um,
And it might not have all the cool sound effects like Galactica to kind of make that sound pop like that, but you could do things to make the physics of the table pop a little more, to bring up them extra sounds to immerse you more in the game. And it
yeah,
just, like I said, overall it feels like a kind of quick port. Like they half-assed the port to this platform, and I would like Zen to go back and at least consider some of the issues we raised, and see if maybe they can do a couple little bug fixes to sharpen this up, and make it play a little tighter. Pause.
yeah. And also, like, between the two different tables, like the game modes for South Park, I felt like I wasn't as panicked and I had more time. Even though I think it was the exact same amount of time to complete modes, but I didn't feel as panicked because I was able to control the ball better, and actually aim for my shots and take my time and not feel so rushed. With Butters, it's like frantically trying to control the ball and keep it from sliding up your flipper and everything, going down the middle and bouncing onto the outside. To me, it's hard to control that, uh, and being able to aim your shots and have enough time and feel like you're not so pressured to try and get it done, because it does ask you to do a lot on Butters compared to it does on South Park when it comes to like trying to complete those modes in time. Because literally on South Park, to complete stand mode, all you gotta do is flip it up the man bear pig uh orbit ramp one time on the right side. Just do it one time and they're done. You got 1,200, 1.2 million points for just doing that. Sarcastic ball, just played in that top right playfield. Hit the balloon like 10 times. Done.
Well,
You complete
that's
that.
easier said than done. That balloon game.
Oh yeah.
First,
It's
you
it's
got to get
harder
up
than
to
it
that
is.
play field, then you got to keep it up there. But
Yeah.
yeah, you got little side games where you can get a milli here and there, to help rack up your points in the meanwhile. But all right, so let's just get down to it. What do you like more, South Park or Butters?
Butters because of the flow and the more I play it, the more I feel like I can get used to that bounciness and I guess atone for it, like get used to it. Um, Figure out what I can do, what I can't do, dead bounces and all that kind of stuff. Trying to just have more control and figure out how to slow the ball down so I can actually make my shots.
So, would you recommend people buy this pack?
If you love South Park, hands down, yeah, why not? If you just want like great pinball packs, like to me, I think once the hype and the newness of this table goes down, I don't think I'm ever going to play it again. And it kind of reminds me of the Borderlands table and that pack, the Gearbox pack. I don't think I'll ever go back and play that pack. Because it's I got so many other tables to play now.
Yeah, well, that's that for me though. That's kind of like what brings me back to packs every now and then. Is I like having the, and I'm not saying you don't like it, but I like having the variety because then it's the once in a blue moon I go back to these packs and re-experience them and they feel new again. So that's kind of but I'll go back to properties that I have less love for less, obviously. Like I'm gonna play the Trolls table probably less than I would a Godzilla table, and
Yeah.
so yeah, if South Park speaks to you, I would recommend picking this up because you love South Park, you're gonna love this pack. But just based on the performance of the pack and the pricing of the pack, I would just say buyer beware, for now. For now. Because Zen's notorious for doing things, fixing things that people said they couldn't fix, and most of the Zen pack's been playing great lately, and
Good point.
the community is relatively happy with the flipper lag, the graphics, everything now. So, and we're all kind of past the point that we're worried about it being 4K. We know if we want 4K performance, we'll go OTG. Yeah, so but I would still say buyer beware just because it's $15 for two tables, and if you're not a big fan of South Park, you might be a little underwhelmed.
Yeah. That's a very good point. Also, BD, when you say those rails look jaggy, I noticed this on a couple other people's reviews. I also understand that South Park is made so Zen tried to keep it true to South Park, and South Park is made with what construction paper, right? That's how they did the animations and stuff. So if you look deep into the table, you see a lot of detail when it comes to everything looking like it's made out of construction paper and cardboard.
Yeah,
And I appreciate that. And a lot of that jagginess will also come to that. Those ramps, though, are made to look like they're wire ramps. They're not shiny. They look like construction paper. So I appreciate the trueness that Zen kept with this.
yeah, the attention to detail. You'd actually be surprised, and I won't lie, Biggie D makes a point. Some of the rails do look jaggy on some of these tables, but honestly, it is the farthest thing from my mind at this point. Like these tables, once they start playing great, like they've been, and this pack does not play that great, but it doesn't play that bad either. I did put a buyer beware on it just because I think there's something going on with the table friction or something with the ball physics at the bottom there. Once it gets to the bottom of the table, that's when you notice it most because you're using your flippers. But all in all, overall, Zen, like you're not looking at them jaggies, bro, when you're playing Star Trek: The Next Generation. You're trying to keep up with the speed of that ball moving around, and time your next shot and you're having a blast and the SSFs kick in and you're not even looking at a little jaggy on a rail anymore. Like personally, and I remember being kind of startled the first time I saw rail jaggies on this platform, but now I don't. As long as the games play great and sound good and they're enjoyable, I'm happy. With what Zen's doing.
Yeah. And way too fast for you. First thing that comes to mind when I hear South Park is cussing, mature humor. I got none of that on these tables. So
yeah,
I mean, no curse words. The only thing is like you get like farts, right? So you get farts and you get vomit.
You get Mr. Hanky, you got a little turd, you getting some bowel humor
balls,
there,
yeah.
I guess, so you got Chef kind of flirting with some bitches and shit. So, so it's not as mature. Yeah, it's not as mature themed as the show can be at times. But I think this was, like I said, it's a 10-year-old table. This was before Pinball M. Had this came out if this was developed around the time of Pinball M, it might just be a Pinball M table that would have mixed it up from all the horror themes they've been doing. And, but like I said, this is pre-Pinball M era. And I think they were cautious on how far they could push the language on their tables.
Yeah, because if you think about it, back then they wanted to keep everything on the rating system. What's it called? It's not PG. What they called it? I know in like Europe they do like Peggy 12 or whatever. 12 years and older.
PG. Like there's PG-13. There's R, and then there's like NA or whatever or something. I don't know. Yeah. Or there's not NR, like not rated, and then there's like
And then Thor KC, don't be discouraged with that. This is one of those special cases where it's a 2-pack for $15. If you think about it, Universal Monsters pack had two tables. They were $15 for those 2 tables.
If you think about it, Twilight Zone
was $15 for 1 table. Addams Family was $15 for 1 table. World Cup Soccer was that was $15 too, wasn't it? Or was it 5?
Nah, I think it was like 5 or 10.
It did. No, World Cup Soccer was 15. Thank
15,
you,
right? Wow. So that's the thing. So, and this is a licensed property too, so the creators got to get paid. Comedy Central has to get paid. Zen's got to get paid. AtGames has to get paid. It's not too overpriced, but that's why I still say buyer beware, because it's only 2 for $15, $7.50. It's not a deal breaker, but I don't want them. We don't want them taking on the Magic Pixel pricing program. I think is what the community is pretty much saying.
Right, 4 tables for $35. That's a lot more if you think about it. So like fishtails for a fact, I know that for a fact is going to be $5. It's free on Pinball FX 3, 2, 1, everything, even mobile. So that's free everywhere, right? There's no reason for it not to be more than $5. Attack from Mars was $5. Stuff like that, it's always gonna be $5. So it's just one of those special cases where you're just like, I didn't really like these tables. I felt like I got ripped off. They're not going in a more expensive route. It's just one of those special cases where it's just like, all right, these tables are 10 years old. How are you going to charge $15 for 2 of them? Kind of deal, right? So
and they don't play perfect either. So that's where my issue ultimately lies. If they played great, I'd probably be in here giving this table like a 8 out of 10 or 7.5 out of 10 and telling you, yeah, it's $15, but it's well spent. If you enjoy South Park, which I'm not the biggest South Park fan, but I think it's funny as hell when I do watch it. So, and I'm familiar with the characters and the cast and all that. So, I don't mind that I spent 15 on it. I just wish it played a little closer to the latest tables they've been putting out, so.
Uh, any final thoughts on South Park?
I hope Zen does some fixes on it, man. I think there's some minor bugs in there we discussed. I've heard the community discuss, but yeah, if you enjoy South Park, pick up the pack. If you're a South Park fan, you're probably gonna want this, especially if you got a 4KP. It's almost
Yeah,
a no-brainer if you're a South Park fan. I think Butters takes the cake though here.
yeah. I think $15 is the great price point for when it comes to multiple tables in a pack. So
And
absolutely.
and Mike makes a good point. Trey Parker and Matt Stone cannot live off basketball royalties alone.
No.
So you want to help them boys out, buy this pack.
I'm not gonna lie. I wouldn't mind seeing a Team America.
Team
Super
America World
Trade.
Police would be that would be a funny ass table, bro.
Yeah,
I'd
it
like
would
to.
be so awesome.
It'd be a funny pinball table. Yeah, I'd love to see a sequel to that eventually. But if you ever watch the behind the scenes on Team America, like, bro, the the making of that movie was hell.
Oh
You
yeah, for
know,
sure.
because they had never taken on a monumental task of puppetry like that previously, like that. And that I definitely, yes. Since we're kind of on the subject of the makers of South Park, check that out. The making of Team America World Police is nuts.
And let's just be honest, a movie like that couldn't be made today in today's age, man. It would be too many people just go crazy.
Right. I mean, sometimes I'm shocked South Park's still going. Sometimes I'm like, man, I can't believe the shit they've got away with over the years and keep getting away with. And they're just like, to the world.
All right, so moving on to our last topic of
Oh,
the
oh,
show.
it's
Oh,
been a while since we did a community spotlight, y'all.
yeah, that's right. That's right. So I'm pretty sure he's not even in here anymore. He's too quiet, so I'm pretty sure he already left. But
Sorry, he
got to
could double back.
shout out to Cornercade for taking a Shinku Hadouken and gutting it out, gutting his KI and putting those parts into that Shinku Hadouken, and then reskinning it as a KI Deluxe. There he is.
There
So
he
yeah,
goes.
man.
Oh,
So
yeah.
you did something that I've always wanted to do, and I kind of regret selling my Shinku Hadouken because that was really what I wanted. This is really what I wanted to do was get my mini KI Pro. That way I could be like Six's little brother here and have a little KI Pro at
Mhm.
it, man. So hats off to you, dude. You made this gorgeous. And
Only thing I'll say is missing are the IO Euro joysticks. You need them blue joysticks on that joint. That's the only
yeah,
thing you're missing. I think I had a little back and forth with I don't know if Cornercade masquerades as Katie or it was actually Katie I was talking to, but yeah, not a bad exchange. I was just talking about the mod. I was like, for the average person, I don't think this is a cost effective. Like it's not cost effective mod in the sense like at least when the Pro was available, like because this is basically like a three quarter scale. So by the time you probably buy the new marquee for this, you reskin the Shinku, you buy, you do the custom control panel art, you put a coin door in it, you light it up, you put the side art on it, swap the PCB. Once probably you do a GI Joe inline riser. After you do all that, it probably costs the same amount as a Pro did. If you bought the KI at retail, price back in the day. So
yeah. The only thing I know for a fact that helped him save money was he took those parts from Senku Hadouken
mhm,
and he sold them out. So he sold the PCB, he sold the coder
right.
board, so
Mhm.
sold the control panel or the not the control panel, but he sold the buttons and stuff. Um,
Was
like
able to flip some of the parts to
he sold the
cover the
riser.
expense. Yeah,
So I mean, it
yeah,
helped cut down some of that cost. And
yeah. And
so, like,
this build is sick. I mean, bottom line,
yeah,
I have I'm impressed, honestly. And then after seeing, all the concept art, of the WrestleMania and all the other ones, I was like, wow, okay, I see what you're doing over there, Cornercade. So hats off to you. This is a sick mod for real, for real.
Yeah, I'm looking very forward to your WrestleMania cab because that is one of my dream cabs of having.
Yeah.
And then your Golden Axe Dynamo. I hope the button wiring and all that kind of stuff works out for you. I know that kind of stuff can be difficult with how it's a 4-player deck turned into a 2-player deck, and player one works on uh, Death Adder in the first player slot, but all the other games, the first player is in the second player slot. So I don't know why they did it that way, but I hope the wiring works out for you on that. That to me seems like the hardest part that you're gonna have to deal with on that. Um,
Did
but
you
yeah.
lose a little bit of that KI logo on the bezel too? Looks like it's a little hidden.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Belo-
yeah, yeah.
Looks like it's below the control
Because of
panel a
the
little.
slanted control panel, it it pushed up into that KI logo. So yeah. Now, Cornercade, I don't know if you want to do this, but you might want to contact Buy Stuff and have them put a 19-inch monitor in that thing. Just saying.
Uh, Sabo has a bezel for the 3/4 scale too, KI, but I
Yeah.
don't know if it would fit the Shinku. That's got the moves list and stuff on it too. If you wanted that. Uh,
Hey, what's up,
al-
Stock Jock? Thank you so
Also,
much for the 10 gifted subs, my man.
oh, okay,
Or
Lurker's
10
getting
gifted
gifts.
memberships, not subs. My bad.
Lurker's getting gifts. MG says, "Yeah, Corner K. Hey, where'd you get that sticker for the control panel? Did you get that from Sabo or did you go to like Arcade Graphics or somewhere else?"
I think that front
From
KI panel, I think he got that from Sabos,
the
and I
side
think he
one
did
on
get
the
the
Nintendo.
Nintendo ones too.
Yeah, from Sabo. Okay, because
Yep, there it is.
I was considering those on my Pro, but you really can't see it because I got the Pro smashed between other cabs. But I was considering that because I did do the midway decals from Sabo on my T2, which look really good.
I like the 4-player to 2-player mods, but someone needs to rewire the last 2 players to USB ports before I downgrade. Yeah, so
Yeah,
something about you can splice the 2 wires, and from like player 3 can go into player 1 and player 4 can go into player 2. Like you can splice those wires somehow to, I don't know. Somebody was showing me how to do it on he did it on The Simpsons, made it into a 4-player into a 2-player. He just spliced the wires that way he could pick whatever character he wanted to be and be able to still use
yeah.
that controller.
I seen that. I thought Joe was working on one, but maybe it was somebody else. But yeah, that's one area where I'll never see eye to eye with Cornercade is I'll never like I'm one of the few people in the community that probably I adore my 4-player cabs, and I'm
They're
not big
special.
on and I'm not big on losing any kind of functionality when it comes to these cabs. Like and even though I might not play them 4-player for the once in a blue moon time, I might. I like having the option to.
Yeah.
And yeah, we might be all scrunched together and looking goofy, but we're usually having fun, so we're not thinking about that. And but with that said, sometimes I might want to play them 3-player, not necessarily 4-player. So, you know, I still have that option. And then I do know, like with X-Men, you lose some functionality. Like there's certain characters I think you can't choose on Avengers Galactic Assault or Galactic Storm. Uh, so and then I think on Simpsons, for instance, if you don't have the buttons wired just right, you can lose a couple characters. So,
Mm-hmm.
there's something to be said about downgrading from a 4-player to a 2-player deck. But I do realize in this home arcade community, we're all trying to space save. I got party cades on my door and party cades on the wall and everything smashed together. We got all these cabs like chaotic sandwich together, just trying to fit one more in there. So I see why people do it, but me personally, like my Blitz, my Jam, and my X-Men will always stay 4-player.
Yeah, well, and it also depends on like your situation in your room, right? Like your arcade space. If you have a lot of people that could potentially come over and play, you want as much you want a variety, but you also want as much player options as possible, like a 4-player deck or a
Right,
couple 4-player decks, right? But if it's like in your in like my situation or even Cornercade situation where it's just really just you and your wife that come and play,
right.
um, I could see that argument where you want to turn everything from 4-player to 2-player because you want to keep those games because you have the nostalgia for those games, you love those games, but it's only going to be you or maybe a second person playing with you. And I totally, like I said, I get that argument.
Yeah,
Um, so I understand totally both sides. It really just depends on your situation
right.
and your game room and how you want to do it. Do you want to stuff as much as you can in there so you have that arcade feel, or do you have a lot of people that actually come into your arcade room and actually potentially play, and you want to be able to play multiple people on one cab together and be able to have that experience. So
Yeah,
yeah.
it's very circumstantial. That's why I said, I'll never see. I mean, I wouldn't see eye to eye, but I'd never do what he's doing in that sense. But I also got my own reasoning for it. For me, it's just, Blitz was always like I've seen 2-player blitzes in the wild, but primarily it was a 4-player cab. Primarily Jam was a 4-player cab. Primarily X-Men was a 6-player cab. But there
But
there, there were
you'll
there
take
were
four
some
if you
four
have to.
players. Yeah,
Yeah.
so well, I'll take concessions where I have to, but if I don't have to, I try to keep them as authentic as possible, but shout out to you, Corner Keg. I thought this was one of your dopest mods you've done, and we haven't showcased you on a community spotlight. We haven't done a community spotlight in a while, so I figured like it was a good opportunity to showcase the hard work you put in on KI to make it look very arcade accurate, minus them joysticks.
Yep. And like I said, like me and Six, like we're diehard. Like we both love Ki very much, and
Yeah, it was
totally
our
just
number
keep
one
on
when we
loving
did
it. Yep.
our K1 Up top 10. It was our number one cab for
Yep.
us.
If I don't do the same mod that you did, Corncade, I know for a fact I'll never get rid of this cab unless I do that mod. So good
Um,
stuff, man.
Cab Pro back there, we love
Yeah,
it. We love
you
it.
already got you already set up. You're good.
We love it.
Uh,
You got that dope Sabo modded Marquito on there. I kind of wish I'd have snatched up for my pro because he's got one, but it is. Oh yeah, 216 standing up for Cleveland. Penny K, you see me all the time, gang gang.
okay. Well, my man. Well, everybody, that's pretty much the show. I appreciate everybody coming by. Uh, next, uh, next Thursday is Thanksgiving.
Yeah, we might
Um,
we might not do a show. We'll see what happens. We'll keep
or
them
we
kind
might
of
do it.
posted.
We might do it on a special Sunday or something. Depends on if how we're both feeling on it and everything. If we're both available, might do a special episode. Do for Natural History Pack 3, especially if there's other stuff going on. Um, if y'all do check out my community page, I do have the Sea of Thieves referral link for $50 off if y'all are interested in buying a 4KP. I am in their affiliate referral program. That's the only one that's on discount right now, $50
Are
off.
you an
So
influencer?
I am not an influencer, but I'm in their affiliate referral program. So
I like giving this dude a hard time. Pause.
yeah,
Funny business. But yeah, hey, bro, that's good. You're saving people money. That's what's up, and you're making money along the way. That's what's up.
yeah. If
I
y'all
thought
want to,
about it. I just right now I'm in a space where you know what? I feel like I should be the unbiased voice of this show. I should be the unbiased. I should be the one dude that doesn't want to be an influencer and says F the world and you know. But hey, if they come with the right money, hey, I might switch up quick. I might switch up. I might be on the team with my man over here.
well, look, the only reason I really wanted to join the affiliate referral program is the fact that I love this product. I love the 4KP. Period.
Yeah, yeah,
Hands down, the best money I ever spent, and I want other people to experience that. So if you've
yeah.
ever been on the fence for it, and you want to help me out, support me by clicking my link, saving you $50, and also putting some money in my pocket, it's a win-win. So that's the way
Yeah.
I looked at it, joining that affiliate program. So
Nah, you're a good person to join the affiliate program because you've sold them multiple
yeah,
machines already. So, you're the ideal candidate for that. And I'm sure I know I've for a fact Unc bought one because I bought one, so, and I'm sure the show's influence, so I'm sure we're influencers without being influencers. I'm sure we've twisted a couple arms into, people swiping that credit card and getting one of these machines, or going into their savings a little bit and buying one of these. But there I think there is something to be said about, and I'm not saying that you being in this program changes your bias, because I still feel I know you enough that you're going to be honest, about your opinions, just like you were about South Park tonight.
yeah.
It didn't change your opinion on things, but you know, me, so for now, right now, I'm gonna stay neutral. Stay on the neutral side.
No, you're
But yeah,
totally
but
respect that completely.
but if our viewers, you're gonna buy a 4KP, man, use my man's link. Save yourself $50, bro. It's gonna save you 50, and it's a good look on chaotic side too. So definitely, yeah,
Yeah, and also like it's so cool because like James Hates Everything is like could not understand why I liked my 4KP so much and how much I play on it. Could not understand why until I was like, get that SSF kit. Get that SSF kit. It'll change your world. And he's like, okay, I'll get it. Got it. Did his live stream of him installing it after he turned it on and played it for the first time. He played Battlestar Galactica. He was like, holy shit, this is a game changer. I regret not buying this. He instantly became a from James Hates Everything to James Loves the SSF kit.
yeah,
Hands
yeah,
down, like totally changed the game for him. And now he's like, now I'm gonna play this all the time. Now I love this damn thing. So
yeah. Unc finally installed his too, so I was
did
proud of
he?
him. Yeah, he finally installed it, so I was proud of him, man. So yeah, because he actually brought a coworker of his over here. He heard his one of his best buds, his best buddies, like, bro, your sound effects, because he had played Unks, but then he was over here. He was like, dude, the sound is killer on this thing.
Yeah.
I'm like, I keep telling him to go purchase his, and so then Unc turned around. It took his buddy. I think his buddy seen it, said how dope it was. So then Unc was kind of jealous. He was like, I got to go back, put one in mine. So when my homie comes over, my sound's thumping like sixes. Arcade Jam, I appreciate you. Appreciate you.
Hell yeah, dude. Thor KC, the attract mode is the custom one I made. I did a video on it. I did my Google Drive is in the description for that video that I did on it. So when you do get yours and you want Jurassic Park, Attack from Mars, all the big tables basically, you can get that attract mode just playing in the background when you're not playing over and over and over again. So
Yeah.
also, anybody that's in the chat, if y'all were interested in, if y'all have a 4KP and you're interested in my attract mode that I made for these, feel free, man. It's just go to my video, go to the description, go to my Google Drive, set it up. Really easy to do.
Yeah, and he's got one for every themed cabinet. So
Yeah,
if you got a Snoopy, you got Adam's Family, and you want that running on the back glass, I got his Attack from Mars on mine. I keep it on that all the time. Looks fire.
thank you, Jason. James hates not owning a SSF kit no more. Exactly. You're absolutely right.
He likes that claw machine, though.
James hates being bothered with the claw machine issues while listening to his SSF kit. There we go.
You guys are crazy. It was fun. I watched him build that thing with Chaotic backstage after the last show, and I was just like,
does a track mode support 4K video on the playfield? If you could capture it, I can help bring it down to file size by using Adobe Media Cleaner. All right, Dennis. I'll get with you on that, man. We'll work out a plan and see if we can.
I've been Dennis. I've been told chaotic that I said it, bro. If you could give me the files, I could put in whatever ratio, export it at whatever file rate or bit rate you want or whatever.
Okay, yeah, we'll work on that. I'll definitely start doing that and trying to like make them better for you guys.
Straight
any kind of like suggestions y'all have on my track mode, please let me know, man. I'll be glad to adjust them, make them better for you guys. I am working on like 6 more. Whenever I get the real time to jump in on it.
I'm gonna need a Yo Retro track mode.
That would be dope, dude. Yeah, they would be nice in 4K. So I appreciate both of you. Yeah, man. God bless, dude. Thank you all so much. Again, thank you everybody so much for hanging out with us. Thank y'all for everything that y'all have done, being fans of ours and sticking around all 2 hours of our show tonight and every show that we do. Yeah, Corner Kate, I'll help you out with your pinball rig so you can do your live streams. You'll be like me and Michael B. And you'll be even better than me probably because you got better equipment than I do. But anyway, we'll see y'all on the next Yo
Retro.
What's up, y'all? Welcome, yo.